Well, if we thought the trial of Corinna Butger couldn't get any worse, any more humiliating, somehow it does exactly that. A lot of English VAs are crashing the fuck out because the strike has officially failed. The strike has officially failed, and well, people aren't happy about that. I feel like we're gonna get into another wave of mask off moments, and man, when they fully announce that Corinna Butger is completely gone and replaced, oh man, that's gonna be nice. Honestly, I think every voice actor that gets replaced after cooperating the strike deserves to get fucking replaced because they refuse to work. And I think if guys, I'll be real, if you're not doing your job, I think you should be replaced from that job. So let's see who's crashing out. Let's see what's going on.
Here. So let's cut right to the chase. We have some big news involving here. So let's cut right to the chase. We have some big news involving the SAG-AFTRA video game strike. It is over. It's finally come to an end after nearly a year.
It's insane.
And if you think the voice actors who are trying to use this to push their agenda were mad before, they are seething even harder now, knowing that their efforts have been in vain. In fact,
it will be nice seeing Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact actually, you know, have voices in their fucking game. It was incredibly immersion breaking where certain characters had no voice, especially like what's his name? The red hair guy, Argenti, because I heard his VA was like so good in JP, but like I wanted to support the English dub actors. But I will admit, them not voicing the games was also another huge reason why I wanted to stop playing. It was just like, man, do I really want to deal with more petty ass bullshit and have to read this fucking shit? I mean, they probably got a lot of people to quit the game, so we'll see. The games might have a bigger resurgence once English dub actors actually come back to the game.
Blew up.
But then again, it's not like China cares. They don't give a fuck about Westerners anyways.
In their own face, and now they've caused a ton of damage to their reputation and the reputation of the English voice acting scene as a whole.
I would be shocked to see any of these voice actors that participated in this ever hired ever again. I would be literally shocked. Like, they probably have pre-existing deals. I doubt they're ever gonna get new deals after this shit.
And we're gonna look at some of their crash outs on various social media platforms today. But before we get into that, let's just run through the timeline of events to get context here. So in July of 2024, SAG-AFTRA, an American union for voice actors, they started a strike to try to get better deals with various video game companies. Now, complicating this was a group of voice actors from games like Genshin Impact, as well as Zenless Zone Zero and a few others. They joined in with their own quote-unquote strike. They tried to masquerade their boycott as a part of the overall strike, which would confuse people because they were also saying this was about AI protection, as well as trying to get better deals, and that they had to do this, and this was a part of the strike, and they had no choice. All those things would turn out to be greatly exaggerated, but around March of
When he says greatly exaggerated, he means they all just fucking lied.
this year, one of the
And I'll be real, I think guilt by omission is just as guilty as guilt by exaggeration of the truth or just being a fucking liar. Because so many people knew the truth and never talked about it because they were too worried about stepping on toes and doing what's right for their consumers.
people who was boycotting was the voice actor for Kinish, and after not working for 6 months, lo and behold, you get replaced. And he was replaced by Jacob
Shocker.
Takahashi, a non-union voice actor living
shocker.
in Japan who had no obligation whatsoever to the union. And he was absolutely attacked. It was embarrassing to see the amount of his peers, mostly SAG-AFTRA voice actors, just berating him nonstop. Here's an example of one of them, Kaylee Mills, who we'll talk about later in this video. She's
Oh, bro, this bitch is so dumb. I absolutely ripped her apart on Twitter. I like fucking 5 times ratioed this bitch, which is crazy because the voice actors' interaction on Twitter is so overinflated by these people who actually think the voice actor actually is the character. Overly positive Genshin stans, VTubers, and voice actors, their engagement, oh god, it's so blatantly fake.
crashing out hard. She called him diabolical, and all these other people said he was a clout chaser and that he was a scab and that he should be blacklisted from the industry. It was really, really bad. Now, a lot of people saw these sorts of interactions, and they said, whoa, these people are bullies. Like, they might have been on board with the quote-unquote strike before because they're like, oh, they need these AI protections and, you know, they have to participate in this. People started questioning the narrative. They started looking at these people and saying, wait a second, what they're saying doesn't really add up. And also, they seem like really insufferable people. And it became very clear.
And this is why, like, lots of likes doesn't equate to the truth, because this person blatantly lying. Let's just read this out loud. This is actually kind of diabolical. If you need the money, at least take the role uncredited. It just comes off as an easy grab for clout. It's not a good look. Guys, this got 4.2 thousand likes. 4.2 thousand likes of Kaylee Millis just absolutely talking out of their fucking ass. It's the same thing with Denim's post. I got 32,000 fucking likes of her just being completely retarded and saying that I was trying to slide in on her because I invited her to play Marvel Rivals with 4 other streamers. The IQ of the average internet user is lowering rapidly every single day that we exist here on Earth, and I don't foresee it changing anytime soon.
After various crash outs, especially this one from Corina, who is the former voice actress for Paimon in Genshin Impacts, she made it very clear those supposed complaints about AI and the goal of that with these strikes was not the main focus. She made it very clear in her unhinged rant where she called YouTubers stupid and that basically...
This was the biggest blunder of all time. And my God, you know, if she put on some makeup and didn't look like a fucking cave troll, maybe people would have listened, but ain't nobody want to listen to an ugly bitch on the internet, straight up. Sorry, guys. If you don't got at least double D's, yeah, and at least 8 pounds of mud on your face, nobody's going to want to listen to you because the internet's skin deep and nobody gives a fuck about an ugly chick. And that's just the reality. Fat dudes and ugly chicks, nobody gives a fuck about, guys. I'm sorry, it's the truth. She should have caked up before all this shit. This ruined their entire strike. And honestly, I'm glad it did because it exposed a lot of the truth.
Basically, all video game players aren't smart enough to understand.
Oh, sorry, not just the internet, real life as well.
And how these strikes work, but she made it very, very clear this wasn't just about AI protections, it was about trying to get more companies to work with the union, which would make them more money. And these sorts of concerns were confirmed in this video by a voice actor named Joe Zija, who made it very clear that when it comes to the AI concerns, most of these concerns were already covered by various agreements these actors already had in place. And most importantly, he clarifies that these people from Genshin Impact and other Hoyoverse games, they weren't a part of the overall official strike. What they were doing was a voluntary boycott, what he calls a collective work refusal, where these voice actors just decided on their own that they weren't going to continue voicing characters for these games, and then they try to masquerade it as a part of the official strike in order to intimidate people and try to get them to also remove their roles. And this was all with the intention of eventually getting some sort of a deal with Hoyoverse, which of course would not happen. And this video is really the turning point, like the final nail in the coffin for the narrative, because people could tell with their common sense that a lot of these voice actors were unhinged lunatics and were pushing some sort of an agenda and using the strike to get their own sort of goals in place. But now you have an official, well-described confirmation of things that we already had a good idea about, but now know for sure. And that's when all the voice actors, they jumped ship. They left Twitter. It was a mass exodus. They all went to Blue Sky, which of course they did, because it's the biggest echo chamber on the internet. And they've just been continuing on to this.
This is why they go on Blue Sky, because they know if they would post this shit on Twitter, they get eaten alive. Because now people have turned against them. And they can't handle the levels of controversy that other content creators have to do on a daily basis. Once they've been knocked down from their pedestal, and they're now down here in the muck, and they actually have to be right for people to say true, oh, they're fucked.
Day, relentlessly posting every waking minute of their day about this strike and about how persecuted they are and how all these YouTubers and other people on social media are so dumb and they don't understand anything. That's pretty much where that loud minority of voice actors have gone. And I do think they're the loud minority. There's plenty of voice actors who are being negatively affected by this while wanting to work and not being able to do so because of the union. One example of that is the Venti voice actress, who made it very clear in this response on TikTok that she wanted to continue voicing Venti, but she was receiving threatening letters from SAG-AFTRA and basically prevented her from continuing on in the role. So there are people who wanted to work but were being stifled by SAG-AFTRA. So it's not just every voice actor out there wants to participate in this collective work refusal. No, they're the loud minority, and unfortunately it's impacting other people who are not a part of it or don't want to be a part of whatever they're doing. And that leads us to today. It's over. The strike is over. What does that mean for these voice actors? Not much. Doesn't seem like they really got anything they wanted, but there's been a lot of...
Oh, well, they might have got anything they wanted, but their careers are now in the fucking tank. And now where we're going to see, and this is the real part, I'm telling you guys it's going to happen. We are going to see things getting catty. We are going to be seeing everybody throwing other people under the bus to save face and save reputation. Now we're going to see a whole shitload of voice actors say, well, I never wanted to do this. I just had to do this. Like, I believe Venti's VA, but now we're going to see a whole bunch of other ones of them crashing the fuck out on everybody they possibly can. We're going to see a voice acting civil war, so get your popcorn, guys. It's going to get real messy.
Controversy and drama surrounding this entire situation. A lot of people look at this and say, what did you get out of this? All you did was intimidate people into losing their jobs or turning down opportunities or just straight up getting in their way, wedging between them and their opportunities. And you did all this and set back the reputation of the English voice acting
it's
scene.
gone.
So far,
It's
I don't think
gone,
we'll ever
bro.
be fully
It's gone,
fixed.
gone.
Like, people have a very, very negative view of the English voice acting scene because of a couple handfuls of lunatics in the scene who tried to exploit this strike to get better deals for the union. And they got exposed, and here we are, and they're going to sit here and pretend like this is exactly what they wanted, when clearly it is not. This was a failure. And this was covered somewhat in this video by Mugen. He talked about some leaked DMs from various people who were involved with the negotiation committee, trying to work with these voice actors and SAG-AFTRA, trying to get a deal together with these studios. And there were several messages that a whistleblower provided.
I was gonna react to this, but I've already reacted to so much things pertaining to this, like ad nauseum, that I was kind of skeptical that it would be presenting anything new. And I skimmed it offline, and yeah, I pretty much already knew all the shit that was revealed in this video.
To him, where it shows, just to sum it up very briefly, it shows how arrogant these people are. And that shouldn't be surprising. They really think they're in control of everything. And the people on this negotiation.
I mean, bro, I'll be real. Like, voice actors, they talk. And their egos for just talking is insane. It's the same thing with streamers. Like, streamers are so fucking lame. It's insane. You're really gonna get an ego where you deem the common folk beneath you because you play video games for a living. All right, dude. Like, I understand if you're like a Kai Cenat, sure. Or like a basketball player. I understand if you're like a LeBron James. But these people think they're so much better than everybody else. It's honestly it's humiliating to even witness. Like, when I go to TwitchCon and I see streamers say, I don't have time to sign your autograph, and just walk away, or people say, nah, get in line. It's like, what are we doing here? Or when I was recording shit for OTK, and people like wouldn't even talk to the workers, the production team behind the scene, it's like, what are we doing? Where are we getting this ego from? Like, everybody is equal. Treat humans as humans. Like, we're all good in our fields. At the end of the day, disrespecting your fans, like, those are the people who got you here, man. So it's just embarrassing, man. I really hate the whole entertainment industry because there's never more a group of inflated egos than the people that take place in the entertainment industry.
Committee, they didn't want things to end. They wanted to keep this strike going for as long as they could. That means people staying out of work for even more months because they don't really care. They just want to get their way. And also, we're seeing some comments from people in this video where they're basically saying that they want to try to get companies to join in on a list of people not to hire. I think this was the most insane part. A list of people not to hire. They want to send from the union to these companies, basically blacklisting what you would have to presume would be non-union actors. I mean, that is absolutely insane and illegal, by the way. But of course, knowing that their server has been infiltrated, that it's compromised, that someone's seeing their messages, what did they do in wake of Mugen's recent video? They're now trying to falsely report it. They're trying to mass report his video, knowing full well people are going to see this because the screenshots will be shared. They're trying to file privacy complaints on his video to get it taken down. Good luck with that. But it just shows they are very insecure. They're scared.
Embarrassing.
And now the strike is over. They got nothing. Now they're just seething. That's all they can do is seethe on social media, and I guess in Discord servers as well.
Yeah, the shit they've said about me in that server is insane. That's why I just no longer have sympathy for them. Like, telling people that they would blacklist them if they ever interacted with me just because a couple of them got their fucking feelings hurt on Twitter. Like, these people are so small. They're so petty. It's just pathetic.
Now, not every voice actor had a negative reaction to his video. Jennifer Hale here, who is a voice actress, said transparency is good. I would assume referring to the fact that these messages got out there. And then she says, healing is most important. This has been an incredibly difficult and divisive time. There is much work to do to put our community and our industry back together. Wow. Seems like a very reasonable response to this. I wonder what the other voice actors who are trying to play a role in this collective work refusal have to say about it. Oh, here's Kaylee Mills again. Remember her from the beginning of the video when she was attacking Jacob Takanashi? Yeah, she had something to say right here. And oh, she got hit with another community note saying, you are enabling drama tubers and making people in your community feel unsafe, airing their frustrations while trying to navigate a really tough situation in a private space. I really hope you simply didn't understand how harmful this could be. You're hurting your community.
The same chick that was shitting on Kanich for accepting work is now talking about making this dangerous in a safe space in a community. Kaylee Mills, your tweets are public. We can all see them.
The audacity.
Yep.
The audacity of this woman who is going after Jacob Takanashi and getting on a very personal level by the way. I'll show an example of that in a second. But going after people like him and trying to intimidate them into giving up their job, and then they turn around and say you're hurting the community and that you're making things unsafe for people. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And also, I love that she's seething about drama tubers. That's so funny to me. Get ready to seethe some more today with this video. But you can see she got hit with a note saying Katie Mills talked about making
Get ready to seethe even more with my reaction. Like, comment, subscribe, guys.
the community a safe space, but yet harassed Kanish's new voice actor, Jacob Takanashi, and supported an abuser, Chris Nyosi. These are not actions that someone would take if they're trying to make the community a safe space for everyone. This is a different person who was accused of crimes, and she was the first one to proudly defend him, which, again, if you're talking about making the community safe, I don't think that's the best way of going about it. But like I said, the attacks on Jacob Takanashi were very rude and uncalled for and personal. This is a now deleted tweet that she made. Number one, saying it's okay for Karina, the voice actress for Paimon, to keep working with the company during the quote-unquote strike because she needs the money, and apparently a father doesn't need money or a job because they said so. But she also implies that Jacob Takanashi...
You understand there's like more ways than just voice acting to get money, right? Voice acting is a side gig. Always has been a fucking side gig. Same thing with streaming. Like, there are very rare people who actually get to make streaming a full-time gig or voice acting a full-time gig. It's not on a side part-time career to pay you full-time money. If they need money, go work a real job. It's not on their community to support them. It's up for them to take care of themselves, not anybody else.
Takashi is not the breadwinner of the family, and then his wife, for all we know, is paying the bills. Like, what a ridiculous and unfounded thing to say. Obviously trying to take a shot at him and also diminish his importance in the household and
Yeah, start an OnlyFans like a real working class American.
all this stuff. Totally gross behavior, but then again, if you look at how these voice actors are conducting themselves, this wasn't surprising at all. It's just a mask-off moment for a group of bullies, by the way. That's what they are. They want to bully people into submission and to basically force these people to give them what they want, and it didn't work out. But here's another interaction. This person saying, "You're not even a journalist. I'm so over this," referring to Mugen. This person says, "Yeah, you're so right. You need a corporate bootlicker with insane amounts of bias and motivation to not tell the truth, to be able to report on something. Very smart opinion." And then the previous user replies by saying, "Yeah, shut the F up. I'm asking why a gosh darn drama tuber is being trusted with information like this. Why him specifically?"
They try so hard to minimalize and ruin your reputation and slander you by saying drama tuber. Guys, I'm 100% a drama tuber. Absolutely. You know what a drama tuber means? Someone who talks about real issues in the current state of events. All they do is talk about drama. Yeah, because it requires intellect and a little bit of mental wherewithal to talk about serious issues. You want to praise people because they go, "Oh, dude, I'm playing video games. Those are the real channels." Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, if you're able to cover current events with a little bit of eloquence and a little bit of insight and provide truth in a sea of lies, it's actually incredibly useful. And without quote-unquote drama slop tubers, all of the issues that exist in modern gaming, modern technology, modern society would continue going on if no one is out here to call out the bullshit. You need people doing that, because if you don't, history will repeat itself.
Specifically, it doesn't make sense. They're acting like these are top secret government files or something. Like they're screenshots from Discord. Like, relax. And why are people like this so mad?
He leaked the Epstein files. Shut it down, boys.
Why are you so mad right now? Like,
they're mad because now people know the truth. That's why, because they know they look like shit.
why is Mugen or any YouTuber making a video about this stuff so upsetting? And the journalism comment, I'd rather be called anything than a journalist. And you don't need to have a degree in journalism to understand these situations. That's what the voice actors were trying to do. They were trying to diminish any of the people talking about this, saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you can never understand the complexity of our worlds." But a lot of this just boils down to common sense.
You don't get how hard it is to talk and pretend you're a little girl. You don't get it, dude. You don't get how hard it is to pretend to be a little girl while reading off a script. Try to walk a day in my high heels, son. You will not be able to do it.
You look at the way people are acting, the things they're saying, and you start analyzing it just a little bit, and you realize what they're saying doesn't make sense, and also the way they're acting is crazy. You don't need to be a journalist to understand how to make those sorts of observations. But anyways, this was a giant mess, and I'm glad their strike is over, because now they have to go back to work. And, well, they create a very weird situation where people have been pitted against each other, and now they're going to have to see some of their colleagues that they are trying to shame into losing their jobs and try to work with them. And at the end of the day, too, a lot of products, a lot of games have been damaged because of this. For people who love the craft so much, now there's multiple characters that they have muted audio, and they still have to replace those people and get the audio back because they were a part of the collective work refusal, which they try to masquerade as a strike, but we all now know that's a load of BS.
Yep.
But anyways, that's a situation for now. More crash outs to ensue, I bet, but feel free to share your thoughts about today.
So why'd they do that then if it wasn't a strike? Because they're fucking stupid. Like, comment, subscribe. Great video, Rev.